Recently, a few devices that can register hand gestures have been made available for consumers. This opens up possibility for new kinds of interaction. An example is an application where the user can manipulate 3D objects to analyze it, with the use of hand gestures. This can be a huge advantage when it's used in medical environments, because the user does not have to touch anything and is thus more sterile. However, there hasn't been any research that researches the advantages and disadvantages of hand gestures over the mouse with these more advanced devices. Moreover, the researchers that used older technology do not agree on their conclusions. Therefore, a new research is conducted with the Leap Motion for hand gesture input. An experiment is done to find the advantages and disadvantages of hand gestures over the mouse for translation, rotation and scaling tasks. In this video I will explain the application that is used for the experiment to find out these advantages. Before the experiment is started, the participant is thanked for participating. He or she is told that they can take a break or stop at any time and that we are interested in their honest opinion. After the participant read this page, he or she would do a visual spatial ability test. The visual spatial ability test consists of an explanation of the test and 24 questions. This is an example question. On the left you see an original object and on the right you see 4 objects, of which 2 of the 4 objects are the same but rotated version of the original object. The participant has to find those 2 objects and mark them. After the visual spatial ability test, the user is explained the rest of the experiment. He or she is first told that accuracy is as important as speed. The test consists of 5 phases that are first performed with the mouse and then with hand gestures. These phases are as follows. The introduction phase is used as training. The translation phase will be used for translational tasks, the rotation phase will be used for rotational tasks, the scaling phase will be used for scaling tasks, and the compound phase will be used for a combination of translation, rotation and scaling tasks. The order of the translation, rotation and scaling phase differs per participant. After each phase, a few usability statements need to be rated by the participant. Before the participant starts the actual object manipulation operations, he or she is first asked some personal information, such as background and experience. In the introduction phase, the researcher will show the controls to the participant. To start a task, spacebar needs to be pressed, whereafter a countdown is started. By pressing 1, 2 or 3 on the keyboard, one can activate translation, rotation or scaling manipulations. You can see that on the top left of the screen. The progress is shown in the top right of the screen. When the participant thinks he finished the task, he can press spacebar to finish it. For the mouse input, widgets are shown as soon as a manipulation mode is activated. A widget can be dragged to change the object's orientation, rotation or scale. Some visual feedback is given to the participant by changing the color of the widget when the mouse is hovering over the widget or when the widget is dragged. When the research is done explaining the controls, the participant has to do 4 training tasks. Before each task, the controls are explained once more. The translation phase starts with an explanation of translation manipulations. The participant is then asked to perform 7 translational tasks. After each phase, 6 usability statements are presented. They need to be rated by the participant and are related to speed, accuracy, learnability and strain. As with the translational phase, the rotation phase starts with an explanation followed by 7 rotational tasks. Again, the scaling phase starts with an explanation followed by 7 scaling tasks. One last time the participant is shown an explanation, this time of the compound phase. The compound phase also consists of 7 tasks, only this time the participant has to translate, rotate and scale the object. Now that the participant finished every phase with the mouse, the same process is repeated. However, the manipulation is now done with hand gestures. The controls to activate the manipulation and finish the task remain the same. The actual manipulations differ. Translation is done based on the starting position of the hand when the manipulation is activated and the current position of the hand. Rotation is based on the starting and current orientation of the hand. Scaling is done based on the starting distance and the current distance between the thumb and index finger. The rest of the experiment is similar to that of the mouse, therefore commentary is left out. After the participant has finished every phase with the hand gestures, he or she is asked what the preferred input device was for every phase. He or she is also asked about personal opinions regarding the application and the experiment. This experiment was conducted to find the speed, accuracy and usability difference between using the mouse and using hand gestures for manipulating 3D objects. A paper was written based on the results of the experiment. This was a joint effort of Utrecht University and Leiden University Medical Center.